Hey. Stop running, you little cheat. Come out here. Where are you running to? No, please, come on. Let's talk this out.
Who are you?
I'm a Shopify dropshipper. Come on, what do you do? I sell content online.
I make $1 million a month.
That's bull. Show me your tax returns and I'll believe you.
No, I can't do that. I just sell courses online.
Nobody want to pay the and the S. Nah, he's a fraud.
What's up, y'all? It's Meet Kevin here. Have you ever wondered what other people's tax returns actually look like? Are they really the forbidden fruit that we all think they really are? Or are they more of a way to share with you what you could actually expect if you enter business yourself? Because after all, aren't you watching YouTube videos to learn, to get something out of this that maybe you can implement in your business, in your life, so that you can take action and go to the next level? Well, if that's why you're watching this video, you're going to appreciate this, because I'm going to show you my exact tax returns as they are filed with the IRS. From when I was 19 years old, starting college in 2011, all the way through my first year out of college, 2015, when I was 23 years old. I hope you enjoy. Make sure to smash this like button because this is big. I'm revealing 5 years of tax returns. If any of my videos deserve a like, just take a moment, hit that little button, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. Let me start by saying I think you deserve to see these tax returns because YouTube is an arcane nether of glambos and lambos and borrowed houses and leased whatever. And I want to share with you reality. That's why I'm putting these tax returns out, to show you what is something that's real. Look, I'm not saying there aren't actually other people out there with amazing, stellar tax returns and actually made a killing doing something. A lot of people do that very well, and I admire that. To me, it's a sign of potential. It's a sign of what I could look forward to. But these tax returns are pretty black and white. So rather than giving you some kind of cliche canned video on some kind of topic that's relatively generic, I am going to share with you exact black and white details, and not just on my tax returns, I'm going to show you how I was investing during these years as well. Because the biggest roadblock, I say this in almost every video I make, is starting. So I'll show you exactly how I invested during the same years I grew my real estate business. Which, by the way, if you have not yet checked out my course on real estate investing for beginners or advanced investors looking for a different perspective on investing from a real estate broker who's transacted over 200 transactions, make sure to check out that link in the description. You will not regret it. In fact, because I'm so confident you're going to like it, we are offering everybody refunds all the way through December 31st if you don't like the content that's being released. So you don't even have to think about it until December 31st, because I think by the time we get there, you're going to be so in love with what you're learning, you'll want to pay more. In January of 2011, I became licensed as a real estate broker. A lot of you wonder, well, how did you get into real estate? And it is true that my father-in-law was a real estate broker just now nearing retirement. I initially had zero interest in real estate, and the only reason I did it was because I was bored working at Jamba Juice or Red Robin, and I was bored at high school, and I thought, what the heck, I'll just do the licensing. It's like $200. I'll just sell one Apple share at the time. Big deal. I'll do it. And if you don't have a father-in-law in the business, don't worry about it. You can find a great mentor at any kind of brokerage or whatever business you're in. So don't think this is impossible unless you have somebody in the business. It's not at all. Now, you may have heard the story before of when I worked at Red Robin. I went to my manager and said, hey, you promised I'd be a server within 30 days, and instead you put me in the kitchen. I gotta be a server right now. At that point, when I really drew the line in the sand, I had just gotten my real estate license. So I thought long and hard to myself, before I draw the line in the sand, what am I gonna do if they don't promote me? And I had already made the decision that I was going to quit. So I was standing there at this fork in the road, relatively scared, thinking to myself, okay, I'm making steady money working at Red Robin, I'm getting work experience, like I have a place to go and actually earn money, versus making zero money by going into real estate because it's a commission-based industry, and I only had $6,000 at the time while going to college full-time to try to decide, oh, do I really want to go down that path and live off my savings only to hopefully sell something in real estate? This was really intense, and when they told me sorry, Kevin, I quit. And I said that really confidently, but in the back of my mind, it was really like, oh man, I was really hoping you'd say yes, because I secretly wanted to start doing real estate while being a server so I could hand out my business card at tables, put them in sort of receipt books as if somebody else had left them there, you know, maybe bend it a little bit or tear it just a little bit, as if somebody else had it in their wallet and happened to leave it there. Oh, Kevin's scheming. Oh. But really, my savings were going down. I was really scared. Who would trust a 19-year-old in real estate anyway? There are so many real estate agents. What if real estate is dead? The market isn't that great. It was just like everything was saying, don't do this. My very first goal was to make $24,000, because at that point I literally had no money and no incomes, and I thought if I could double the about $900 a month I'm making at Red Robin, then that would be pretty cool. I would have doubled my income. So I set it at $24,000. My first order of business was buy a car, because my lease was up, and then I thought, you know what? I hate this lease is up thing because I don't got a lot of money. I'm gonna buy a car so that in the future that thing's gonna be paid off, and I'm not gonna have to worry about renegotiating these dang car leases every 3 years because there's a bunch of crap. I already had a girlfriend anyway, so it wasn't like I had to impress anybody with a fancy car, or so I thought at that point. And I really didn't want to commit myself to really high payments. So interestingly, while I was sitting there with the dealer, they asked me, hey Kevin, so you don't have any money, you don't have a job except you say you're a real estate agent, yet you're not making any income, and you want to finance all of the car. You want to finance 100% of the car and put no money down. Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, I can't put zero in the system for your income, so I need something. I go, put in $2,000 a month because, well, that's my goal. But you're not really making $2,000 a month, are you? Nope. I was really upfront with them, and they approved me. What world do I live in? Like, what? Full financing on like $33,000? I actually think I have the purchase contract here. We'll put it up on the screen. Crazy world we live in. So then I thought, all right, to be able to actually show income to the IRS and file a tax return this year, I need to make some money. So I need to stand out. Well, since I own my Prius, I thought, hey, why don't I just put a for sale sign on my car? Because what symbolizes real estate more than a for sale sign? Nothing. Note too that I used to read these books that would say things like, don't get into an industry to compete for sales, get into an industry that you could own entirely. I thought to myself, yeah, that's nice, but I ain't owning anything with $6,000 now diminishing by a car payment and my living expenses. So then my mission became, all right, I'm gonna be everybody's neighborhood realtor and the trademarked no pressure agent. So once my car was wrapped, I took my old police experience and did exactly what cops would do at the beginning of their shift. Roll down my windows, get a sody pop, and roll down the streets of the neighborhood I wanted to advertise in. And I did that in all of the neighborhoods I wanted to advertise in because my goal was not only to be the no pressure agent, but to be the neighborhood realtor. And to be the neighborhood realtor, much like the neighborhood cop, I had to be there all the time. So I pass out flyers in hopes of people not running away thinking I was a Mormon, trying to sell them God, which there's nothing wrong with that. I totally respect that. It's not a religious statement, but really in hopes of talking to people. And after about 6 months of doing that, I did just that. I started talking to people. People started asking me, hey, what's going on with that house? Hey, did that house sell? What'd they get for it? What are the values in the neighborhood? What's the market doing? Everybody wants to know these things. People are like, oh, there's a realtor. Well, hey, he's a nice guy. He's no pressure. He's not going to try to like corner me like, are you ready to buy or sell right now and sign this contract with me? No, I was kind of just like, hey, yeah, what do you want to know? All right, great. Here you go. See you later. I would even go to apartment complexes and put flyers in the laundry room of this landlord sitting on their chair, smoking a cigar with a little thing going, thanks for paying my mortgage, just to try to incentivize people to go, stop renting, buy, and then my phone number. One time, I even distributed the same exact flyer that I did before, except this one I crumpled up and put a stamp on it. Please don't throw me away again. And literally had somebody call me going, you broke into my garage and stole my recycling. No, I didn't, but I definitely wanted it to feel that way. Because I'm the neighborhood realtor and I'm always here. Anyway, I was super jazzed and I went from making $10 to $12 an hour to making zero and having expenses like copy paper and black and white copies, which was probably a mistake. I should have probably had color paper, but sorry, I didn't have any money. It was really scary at first. I'd lie about my age, which what was funny about that was I was 19 and I'd go around telling people, I'm 21. I think about a 21-year-old agent today and I'm like, can I be so young? But whatever, it worked, obviously. After that first crazy year in the business, I cannot believe I'm saying this. Maybe it sounds small to you, but know how significant this was to me making $900 a month? I grossed $36,000. I wrote off my car, I wrote off my computer and my expenses, and here are my tax returns showing a net income of $13,000. And you might be thinking, well, Kevin, that's not much more than Red Robin, but that was okay. I knew I was building something. I knew, wow, if I could get traction within a year of doing this, what are the next years going to bring? And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you. Now, keep in mind, looking at this tax return, you'll notice that at the bottom it says adjusted gross income. That's generally what you want to look at. Note that this is not a business tax return. A business tax return will have generally your gross commission income. In this case, it was like $36,000. And then you'll have all of your expenses like cars, advertising, computers, internet expense, whatever. And then you're left with an S corporation income or a business income, like a Schedule C income. And that all goes into this computation for what you're actually left with. Talk to a CPA. And ultimately, I looked at that, I go, hey, look, I net over $1,000 a month, and I got a car and a computer and some other cool things. So I was like stoked about this. So I kept it going. I started distributing pumpkins in my neighborhood to be the neighborhood realtor. I started doing Halloween parties. I did whatever the heck I could. I'd do 2 to 3 open houses a week. I'd set up easels with information just to get people to try to talk to me about the market or what their needs were, or this, that, or the other. I was willing to do anything. I was willing to take on any client out there. I didn't care how fussy they were. Other realtors would complain about their clients, and I'm like, refer them to me. I'll give you a referral fee. I would love to work them. Please. I want to do something. I'm bored. And keep in mind, I was going to college full-time at the same time. 2012 rolls around, and I was really high on real estate. Keep in mind, Lauren was a server at Red Robin doing what I wanted to be doing, but hey, I guess that's how the cookie crumbles. So then I thought, you know what? We should buy a house. If we sell houses, we should buy a house, and then I'll tell people, I'm buying a house. I'm fixing up a fixer-upper. I bought a house that is a fixer-upper, and here's how I did it. Or I bought a house, whatever. I could now say that even though when people are like, how old are you, Kevin? I'm 23 now. Meanwhile, I was 20. But I'm buying a house. I felt so empowered by that. It was great. And I don't know if that enthusiasm just spread to my clients or whatever, but it was great. Well, and that year, I ended up netting. Remember, I netted $13,000 in 2011. I netted $47,000. Like, yeah, woo, what's up? I did gross about $70,000, which means I got to write off more stuff I spent money on, which is great. I love that. I love write-offs. And I over tripled my prior year's net income, which is amazing. So at the end of 2012, we closed on our renovation fixer-upper house. Well, at the beginning of 2013, after renovations were complete, I was holding an open house, and this lady walks in. We'll call her Barry. She walks in and says, hey, is it weird if there are 2 open house signs on the same street? No, ma'am. No, not at all. I think that's completely normal. Hello? Thanks for telling me you're looking to sell your house. I'm like, this is great. I go over there, I tell Lauren, you gotta get over here. She ended up being Lauren's guidance counselor when Lauren was in elementary school and remembered Lauren because Lauren was the asthma girl. We took out a credit line on our house, the fixer-upper we bought, and then we bought Barry's fixer-upper. It was awesome, never hit the market. Great. another wedge purchase down. Boom. 2013, got my own house and got a rental property. And I just started being able to legally drink. After the high of buying the first rental property, I thought, you know what? Let's do a TV commercial. So I did what I called the Meet Biff TV commercial, which was basically inspired by my past as a World of Warcraft player, and there was a bit of a reflection to lazy work habits while I was in school with the room set up, thanks to my World of Warcraft playing habits, and a reflection to what I really wanted, which was a CIA-born-inspired situation room. There you had it. I had a TV commercial. I started airing it on Time Warner Cable. It was great. People were like, that's the guy from the TV commercial. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. At this point, I'm also studying full-time at UCLA, and I end 2013 with a net income of $161,000. What? That was like $200,000 in gross commissions, another 3x of my gross sales. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is while I'm in college. Mind you, my whole mentality was, oh, well, I'm just in college. Like, even if I don't sell anything, it's okay because I'm just a college kid, and like other people in college, they don't even have jobs. So anything I make is a bonus. And now it's like $161,000. I remember one of the professors at UCLA looked at me and said, Kevin, I know you're a real estate broker. Do you make more than an associate professor does? I avoided his question, but $160,000, yes. The answer was yes. I didn't answer that because I don't like to be the look at me kind of person. What the heck? This was just amazing. That year, we also decided to move up our wedding plans from 2014 to December of 2013 because Lauren's income at this point, she had left Red Robin, she was doing some property management kind of in the family, wasn't really making an income. So we had a huge marriage incentive tax-wise, not a marriage penalty, as you sometimes hear about, to get married. So we got married and ended up saving like $8,000 on our taxes. And I'm like, score, awesome, love it. Well, remember, we would have gotten married anyway. We'd been together for 5 years already. So don't think we married for taxes. We did marry for taxes in 2013, though. 2014 came around and I stayed the course on branding and effort, everything. I even added client services like coordinating renovations because, well, after all, I was an expert now. I coordinated renovations on two fixer-uppers. So I was an expert, and hey, my clients legitimately loved it because I was so enthused to help out with paint bids, carpet, change-outs, kitchens, electrical, lighting, upgrades, you name it. I was there. And the start of 2014 was a little bit of a slower time as well, so I thought to myself, what could I do to get some more experience? Well, we bought a short sale, another fixer-upper. And I remember being in that house. It was like this 1980s house. And I'm changing out the outlets and just going around changing out all the outlets. And then I called an electrician. I'm like, how'd I do? You like how I changed out all the outlets? He looks at me and goes, no, you did them horribly. So I redid all of them the way he showed me. And I'll tell you, I know how to change outlets now. So there you have it. It's 2014. We're 3 properties in, and now the income, this is like mind-blowing. The whole let me renovate your house really worked out. I net $295,000 that year. What? That's over $350,000 in gross commissions that led to $290,000 in net income. Take home money I could spend on stuff. Obviously I had to pay some taxes, but whatever. That's the name of the game. What? 22 years old, are you kidding me? So this is all uphill so far, right? I mean, this is pretty cool. This is all really good. Let's talk about 2015. 2015, I started doing the absolute worst thing you could possibly do in sales. Rather than comparing myself to my own goals, which was a printed out poster of 300, the movie, and that was supposed to symbolize making $300,000 in net income, which was awesome. And I don't know if like the movie The Secret helped me out and made me put that poster there, or the goal setting did it, or all the effort that went into it, or all of it together. I don't know. But 2015, I didn't compare myself to my own goals anymore. I compared myself to others. I got bitter when I lost deals. I got frustrated when I saw somebody selling in my neighborhood, and I got angry and became sort of a depressive, anxious person because I needed to get the next deal. I needed more. I just gotta have more. At the same time, I was doing everything myself. I didn't have an assistant. I was taking my own professional photography. I was putting in my own for sale signs. I was doing everything myself. Key copies, lockboxes, everything. I mean, I had a full schedule all day, every single day. So 2015 was probably the most depressing year of my life. And there was something really interesting about that year, though. I was able to walk around with a smile on my face. I was able to help my clients with that same white glove service, and even though I was twitching on the inside and had chest pain and ended up going to cardiologists and all these crazy doctors and other things, I wasn't happy, which is weird because 2015 is also the year, I remember April 10th, that we closed escrow on our new house, and Lauren was pregnant, which was the whole reason we decided to move. So keep in mind now, we've got our first property that we bought with 3.5% down, took out a home equity line of credit, bought the first rental in 2013, bought another rental 25% down in 2014, 2015 put 10% down on a $600,000 house and got a 10% credit line built into that so we weren't paying mortgage insurance because technically we were putting 20% down on our house even though we only put 10% of our own money in, and then my goal became just pay off the credit line so I could use it and spend it on other things. And then of course later that year, Lauren on August 31st gave birth to Jack, who's 3 now, yet 2015 still gets the summary of being the most depressing year. But what about the tax return? What about the income? Because, people say like, well, money can't buy happiness, right? Like, oh, well, like maybe it can. I mean, I'd be happier with some more money, right? Come on. That year I made a net of $381,000. But that's not the most impressive part, that I made another $100,000 on top of 2014. The impressive part, to me at least, was that had I not written off almost $75,000 on soundproofing an office space to make my own sort of studio and quiet room, that net income would have been over $450,000 because my gross for that year, you know what? Let's just pull it out. Here's my business tax return. Note it says the Pathrath organization. Look at the gross commission income, the gross amount of money I touched, the amount of checks that I touched, the gross money that came in, $539,000, and I wasn't happy. Weird, huh? Now that you've seen all my tax returns, the video is pretty much over, and you should probably just go click the link down in the description below to check out that real estate course, because it ain't the $1.99 that makes me happy. Clearly, I think I just proved to you that money does not make Kevin happy. Rather, what makes me happy are the people who are leaving comments in the course saying, hey, Kevin, can you talk about this? And then guess what Kevin replies with? Boom, heck yeah, I added it to the curriculum. And they're like, oh, I got my own section. Yeah, I don't care how long it takes me to finish this. It ain't the $1.99. It's taking care of y'all. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Oh, and if you're still here and want to watch some other videos, check out some videos on like the YouTube Flip or some other videos I've made on Grant Cardone, because we're going to be coming out with the videos from the Driven event where I met Grant Cardone, and the videos on the YouTube Flip are coming as well, promised.